For those of you who have been who are believers in the Maiden's Mona, C1 will be useful. Yes.
Hello, Mr. Streamer. Could you please explain sometime today, if possible, how diminishing returns work for damage percentage, and how to actually work that out?
Sure. It's basically just, if you go from like 100 to, or if you go from 1 to 2, right? You've doubled your number. If you go from 2 to 3, you still gain the same amount, but you didn't double your number. That's it. That's all it is. It's also a misnomer, yeah, but it doesn't really matter. And I think it's time to cook. So, Prototype Ambers restore 18% of your health, right? Because it's 6% 3 times. Right? This is 35 healing bonus, right? You can get 35.9 from a circlet, which would make your healing 30%. Now, 30% healing per rotation, right? Times 4 unit. Times 2 because you're also going to consume that same amount of HP. Is 240 fanfare stacks. Now you can add Hutao, HP drain. It's going to be on average maybe like 20%. And Hutao burst. It's going to be maybe another 20%. And you're at around 280 fanfare. You're getting close to 300. Pretty sizable amount of fanfare. Alright, this is... a solid 60% damage percent from Furina. Hear me out, chat. Triple Hydro Hutao with Mona Furina. Yes, 4-piece maidens on Mona. Wouldn't 2-piece work too? Yeah, but it's less healing. So, what are the potential issues with that? Well, you don't want to play Yelan in that team because no one else offers resistance to interruption. So it's playing that team with Yelan is kind of like playing VV Vape with Yelan, right? Yes, it's something you can do, but no one in their right mind will ever actually do it. This is a J-Stern exclusive team, right? So it's basically, you really want to use Singto. And this is a team where Singto will actually do a sizable less amount of damage. Because you're getting enough hydro particle generation that the ER requirements are pretty low. So Singto's better particle generation matters less. And, you're getting a lot of damage from your Hutao, so like the Yelan buff is like yee. I don't think it's insane, right? But I do think it's going to be one of the good teams with Furina. Since when does Singto generate more than Yelan? Unless you're J-Stern, you don't use 2 Yelan E's per Hutao rotation. Literally no one does that. So if you're using only 1 E on each, Singto generates more particles. Hutao has built-in interruption res, yeah, but not that much. And if you stack that many buffs, just dash cancel. Oh yeah, just have C1. or just do 5 charge attacks and then run out of stamina. Anyways, this is an interesting thing about Furina. Another thing that I've been thinking about is with Noelle. I saw some calcs on it this morning, and it's actually looking pretty good. It's looking like Furina is going to be one of Noelle's best teammates. Because with Noelle, you can reliably get how much is it? It's what, 40 times 4. The 320 fanfare stocks, right? Because she heals a lot. And you can either play Furina solo Hydro with triple Geo, or you can play double Hydro, Wet Rock, with something like Furina Yelan or Furina Hutao. And like Albedo. This is unironically one of the teams where Zhongli's not really that great, because he just doesn't generate enough particles. Your pillars just... If the pillar's not hitting, you don't generate any particles from Zhongli, and it's just too unreliable. But yeah, you can go marechausse on Noelle. Anyone else other than Albedo? You can use Goro as well, if you have a high con Goro. My strongest potions would kill a dragon, let alone a man. This seller that sells weaker potions, because my potions are too strong. Chancella, I'm telling you, I need your strongest potions. I'm going into battle. I'm going into battle and I need your strongest potions. You can't handle my strongest potions. No one can. My strongest potions are fit for a beast, let alone a man. Would you use Def Goblet on marechausse Noelle? With Furina, that's a good question. I don't think so. Maybe if you're using Serpent Spine. With White Blind, definitely not. Can you explain Charlotte's kit? It's basically you take the worst of Nahida and you mix it with the worst of Jean, and then you put it in the freezer. Does the marechausse Hunter trigger at max health? No. Yeah, Furina can reduce party health in some way. Can you max stack Furina without a healer? No. You can't even max stack Furina with a healer unless you also have a way to deal damage to yourself. Hey, okay, hear me out, right? For all intents and purposes, Furina can consume around 160% of team HP with her E over a 20-second rotation. If you heal all of that back up, that's another 160%, which is a total of
beautiful creatures.
320
pride of Fontaine.
Or 320
Be sure to
stocks.
befriend them and cause them no harm.
So you get 320 stocks, right? This, for all intents and purposes, is the default maximum. Do you think Proto Amber Neuvillette will be even better with Furina? Kinda. I do think that his teams with Furina will be a lot easier to pilot than some of these teams. And they're gonna be very strong, yes. So a few clips of you talking bad stuff about the Cryo 5-star. Is he really that bad? I have no Cryo DPS yet and I wouldn't mind one. But I don't want a unit that feels annoying. It's not that he's like completely terrible, it's just that he is not a great character. I think he's very much balanced around you having the Hydro Archon. And if you don't have the Hydro Archon, he's pretty... yeah. And if you do have the Hydro Archon, he's alright. Like, he's pretty decent. Keep in mind though, you don't need a Cryo carry. Like, that's not something that anyone needs. There's never going to be a situation in Genshin where you have to get to be using a cryo carry. They have heavily moved away from like heavy incentives for single elements. That used to be a thing in 1.0, where the Abyss 12 was a bunch of cryo enemies, and it had a ley line that gave you like 75% pyro damage. And then in like 1.1 or 1.2, there was an Abyss where there were geo shields, and you had a 75% geo damage bonus. But since then, they haven't really had that sort of heavy incentive to have a specific element. So there's no real reason why you need specifically a cryo carry or a pyro carry or a whatever element carry. So don't go for a unit just because, oh, they have an element that I don't have yet as one of my carries. Go for them if you actually like the kit or you think they're really strong or whatever.